Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these 4 different paperclip designs using polymer clay. I'll be showing you how to create a kawaii earth, avocado, cow and pig. I created these designs in recognition of World Vegan Day, which is this Monday the 1st of November. So let's get into the tutorial. The first design I'm going to be showing you how to make is the kawaii earth. You want to start off with 2 balls of polymer clay, one green and one blue, with the blue portion of clay being larger than the green. To give it the earthy kind of sea and island look, I'm going to be marbling the clay. So to do this, you want to roll each piece into a coil on your work surface and then combine them together by twisting and rolling them further. Once you've done this a few times, you can then take a blade and trim it in half, and this is where you'll find most of the swirls happening. I like to place the clay back together randomly and roll it into a ball for a final time. The trick with marbling polymer clay is to not overdo it, otherwise the colours start to mix together. So because my paper clips are flat back designs, I just pressed my earth down onto my work surface to shape it into a dome. Next up, I'm going to be adding the paper clip. So I'm just using some regular metal paper clips, and you want to put the side in to the clay that only has one loop. You want to avoid using any fancy coloured type of paper clips because they tend to have a plastic coating over them, and that can melt in the oven when you bake your clay. So to add the paper clip into the clay, you can take a blade or an X-Acto knife and cut a slit in the bottom of the design. Then for some extra security, take some liquid clay. Here you can see that I'm using Sculpey Bake & Bond, but if you don't have any liquid clay, this step is optional. I used my dotting tool to spread the liquid clay around inside, and then I just inserted the paper clip and pinched the hole shut. You can also take one of your tools to blend this area back together. It was then time to add the kawaii face, so I firstly created 2 indents where I wanted the eyes to go, and then I added in 2 balls of dark brown clay. I attached on a small U-shaped piece of clay for the mouth in the center, and then I also decided to add on 2 balls of pink clay on either side for the cheeks. So this is what my earth paperclip charm looks like at the moment, and now it's time to bake it in my oven according to my package's instructions. Next up, we have the kawaii avocado design. So begin by taking some light green clay as well as a ball of darker green clay. You also want to take your rolling pin, and you're going to be rolling the dark green clay out into a thin sheet, and this is going to become the outside part of the avocado. So place your ball of light green clay inside, and then you can wrap the dark green clay around it. You'll probably have lots of excess, as I do here, so you want to trim off all the extra parts, and it's better to take off too much than not enough, as you want it all to have a similar width all the way around. Like me, if you do end up with any kind of bald patches, you can grab some of that excess clay that you cut off and put it back on to fill in the holes. To make the clay look nice and smooth again, I just rolled it between the palms of my hands. Now it's time to create the avocado shape. So to do this, you can just pinch the very top of the ball of clay. Before I cut my avocado in half, I like to freeze it, and that way it cuts much easier without squishing the clay. So to do this, you can just place it on a sheet of baking paper or just regular paper and pop it in the freezer for a few minutes. When you take it out of the freezer, take one of your sharp blades and cut straight through the center of the avocado to reveal the inside. If you do find the clay gets a little squished as you cut it, you can just fix up the shape as needed. Next, it's time to add the paper clip in the bottom. So again, I'm taking my blade and I'm cutting a hole in the base of the avocado, adding my liquid clay, and then just placing the paper clip inside. Here I'm fixing up the shape a little more and then also using my needle tool to begin blending the clay back together. This will also make sure that the paperclip is nice and secure and it won't fall out. For the avocado seed, I firstly created an indent with one of my larger ball tools and then I placed in a ball of light brown clay. For the face on this one, I decided to make a different kawaii face, so you can see that I just used some small pieces of dark brown clay for the eyes and the mouth, and then I also added some pink clay for the cheeks. Finally, you can add some shading onto your avocado to make it look a little bit more realistic. I'm using some of the shavings from a green chalk pastel, and I'm just brushing these on the very outside part of the avocado to create a little bit of a gradient. Once you're happy with how your avocado design looks, it's then time to bake it in your oven according to your package's instructions. So now we're going to be creating the pig design. Start off with a ball of light pink clay and press it down on your work surface to shape it into a dome. Then you can go ahead and attach your paper clip inside the clay. Now take some darker pink clay for the ears and separate this into two balls. You'll then want to roll each of these into a teardrop shape and press them down flat on your work surface. Once you've done that, take the pointed end of the clay and fold this over so it looks something like this. Using your blade, you'll then want to trim off the bottom part of the ear so that you have a flat surface to work with, and then you can position both ears onto the head. I also used my needle tool to blend the ears onto the head so that they were nice and secure. Next, we need to make the face, so I started by attaching on a dark pink piece of clay for the nose, which I positioned in the center and then created two indents with my dotting tool. I then made two indents where I wanted the eyes to go on either side of the nose, and I added in two balls of dark brown clay. I added some cheeks to finish it off, and then it was time to bake it in my oven according to my package's instructions. And finally, the last design I'm going to be showing you how to create in this video is the cow paper clip. So you want to begin with some white polymer clay and create a dome by pressing this clay down onto your work surface. Before we go ahead and add any other details, you'll want to attach your paper clip inside the same way as we did for the other charms as well. Next, I took some dark grey clay and I used this to create the patches on my cow's face. For the ears, I took two different colours, the dark grey and the white, and I shaped each of these into kind of like a diamond shape, before then also adding a little pink teardrop to the bottom of each one. Once you've created the ears, you can then cut off the base so that you have a flat surface to work with, and then just blend these onto the head. I then also decided to give my cow some little horns, so I rolled a piece of ecru coloured clay on my work surface, and then I just cut off the very ends, which I positioned on beside each ear. Moving on to the face, I created the nose by using a piece of light pink clay, and I added two indents into the centre of that. I made 2 indents where I also wanted the eyes to go, and then I added in 2 balls of dark brown clay, as well as the cheeks on either side of the face. Once you're happy with it, you can then go ahead and bake it in your oven according to your package's instructions. So after your paper clips have been baked and cooled, you can then optionally go ahead and add some glaze to make them nice and shiny, and here I'm adding some UV resin to mine. So this is what my kawaii vegan inspired paper clips look like once they're completely finished. I'm really happy with the way these turned out, and I think it's the perfect way to really decorate your stationery and school supplies. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!